I got the scoop on everyone. This is the farmer who used to own the land where Heritage Village is built. And I found that out from a gardener who I talked to when I went to visit the model at Heritage Village. The model is powder blue on the outside with ivy wallpaper in the kitchen, but yellow countertops. I would have made the countertops green to match the ivy. And the homes sell for $8,000, which I think is a little steep.
Ginger, I can't thank you enough for doing this. I called in sick yesterday, so I couldn't get off today.
Well, if you're going to be a full-time reporter, you're just going to have to give up your day job.
I can't wait. I love the newspaper office. Ginger, have you ever dated anyone you worked with? Worked with? A co-worker, someone you met at the office?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't believe in office romances. It was completely unprofessional. How can you face a co-worker the next morning when you've been kissing him the night before?
Okay, I won't. Oh, Lord, it's Phil. Who's Phil? Shh. You're blushing.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Phil. This is my friend Ginger Szabo. Ginger, this is Philip Havel. He's my editor at the newspaper.
Ah, Philip Havel.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, well, if you two will excuse me, I'll be off. If you need anything else, I'll be at WREQ. Bye, Phil.
Thanks.
I see I'm too late to take you to lunch.
You can have half my bologna sandwich.
Ah.
Slow day at the office?
Not particularly.
Oh.
I wanted to see how you're doing today.
I'm right as rain.
Good.
But I don't want to talk about last night. And I remember telling you never to mention it again.
All right. What a delicious sandwich this is.
I've never acted like that before.
Well, then it's about time you let your hair down.
Phil,
Linda?
I don't know what to say. Can we talk about work? I want to talk about work. I want to know why Judy Owen is snooping around Heritage Village. That is my story.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Judy Owen has wormed her way into writing for the sports section. Now she's trying to worm her way into my story, and I won't let her.
Since when is there a story? You wrote a nice little piece for a nice little ribbon-cutting ceremony for a nice little housing development. I see no reason why anybody should write a follow-up.
I believe we can eliminate one suspect. I went to see Mrs. Nadolski. I told her I valued her husband's work for our company and offered her cash in case she needed help.
And?
She turned it down. It seems her husband left her a large life insurance policy.
That would be a convenient excuse to cover income from a blackmail scheme.
I checked with her insurance agent. She's telling the truth.
That moves your little blonde to the top of the list.
Off, isn't it?
Hi. I've been meaning to call you.
If you'd been to call, you would have.
I'm sorry. I had a great time with you.
Apparently not quite so great.
I know it was. We're very different people.
I'm a woman, you're a man. I'm short, you're tall. I'm blonde, you're brunette.
You're not gonna make this easy on me, are you?
Why should I? I know every word you're going to say. You really are terribly fond of me, but you don't see a future together, and you hope I find happiness with some man who can appreciate me. If the truth be known, I don't think any of you is good enough for me.
I know I seem like a heel.
All men are heels, love. Heels or louses.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Will you take over my station? I need a break.
Sure, Slugger. Can I get you another one?
No, thanks. Hello.
Hello.
I suppose you remember me.
Yes, Mrs. Sloan.
I wanted to spare you the chore of explaining yours and Michael's association to me. My husband might have told you that I was upset when I first heard about it, and that is true, but it was a momentary misunderstanding.
I'm glad because
Nothing happened. I realize that. My husband simply adores baseball, and when all is said and done, I'm glad he had a companion at the games. He was understandably embarrassed at first to tell me that his new friend was a young woman for fear I would object, which I did. But, my dear, there is no harm in going to a ball game. And there is no law that says men and women can't be friends. Why, some of my dearest friends are men.
I'm glad you understand.
Not only understand, but we'd be delighted to have you join us sometime for dinner. I'd say that we should all go to a game together, except for I despise baseball. Although I haven't told Michael, and I hope you can keep my secret.
Sure thing.
Could I trouble you for change for the telephone?
Of course.
Hello? Excuse me, but I've been trying to get past your secretary all day.
Mr. Kahn, you caught me at a most inconvenient time. Can we make an appointment for tomorrow?
This'll only take a minute.
I don't have a minute.
Well, you better find one unless you want a work stoppage at Heritage Village.
You people always make the same threat. What is it now?
There are day laborers on site digging sewer lines.
Good.
The contract assigns that job to the pipe fitters.
They're not moving fast
They
enough.
are exactly on schedule.
We've revised the schedule. Sales are better than we expected, and the buyers are eager to move into their new homes.
Well, then authorize overtime.
Why don't you authorize higher productivity?
Those men are working full bore.
I can find men who work harder.
Is that your code word for scabs?
I don't speak in code. I speak in plain English, and I want men with incentive.
You signed a contract.
Under duress. I was forced to sign or face one job action or another. You engage in legalized blackmail, as far as I'm concerned, both inside and outside the factory.
Well, without that legalized blackmail, as you call it, there'd be no protection for those workers.
Workers of the world, unite. Go ahead, do it on your own time, but not on my payroll. Thank God the House Un-American Activities Committee is finally looking into your unions. The Republican Congress may very well set things right before the communists take over.
Okay, well, if it's all right with you, I'll have the supervisors come down here tomorrow in their lunch hour, and you can explain your perspective to them, and they'll explain their perspective to you.
I relish the prospect.
I'll do what I can, but I already talked to another woman reporter this morning.
That must have been Judy Owen.
I don't understand why everybody's so interested in that development.
Well, what with the housing shortage and all, anything like this is good news. And I guess we got our wires crossed at the paper. I'll let the editor know he's setting everyone out on the same story.
I don't mind talking to you people. I just don't think that I can be of much help to you. You learn more from the library than from me. For heaven's sake, I never even knew that President Garfield slept there.
I never knew that either.
Well, in my opinion, it's a story cooked up to justify hiking the prices on those homes. Now, nobody can prove that Garfield slept there, but nobody can prove that he didn't. Although, I never heard the story as long as I owned the property.
How long did you own the property?
20 years. I sold it to the Sloans in '43, and I heard that they sold it for a good profit after that.
The Sloans sold the land and bought it back?
Well, either that or the buyers defaulted on them. Anyways, they're sure going to turn a pretty penny on it now.
I'll say.